Hi everyone. So this year marks 1 year since we moved into Pinna this Shabbat, and it's been a journey. It's been a really interesting year, a very special year, a year we've enjoyed tremendously, but obviously a year that we never expected, a year that no one here expected. And this week's parsha we talk about Matot and Masei. We have a double parsha for anyone who's joining us in shul. We've got an excellent lena, so we're going to move through it and it will be very enjoyable. But in the second of this week's parashiot, Masei, it talks about the journeys of the Jewish people. And the beauty of a journey is that you don't really know where you're going to end up. A journey is not simply going from point A to point B. When the Jewish people left the land of Egypt, they weren't just heading for Israel. They were going on a journey. That journey was 40 years long. That journey took them all around, both physically and spiritually. It was a journey of searching, a journey of growth, and we too are on a journey of life. And that journey of life is also not one from point A to point B, but it's one which takes us in unexpected directions. It's one which takes us to places perhaps we never expected. The journey is about having emunah, but the key is to recognize that we have a hand that is guiding us along that journey. To understand that it won't be simple, we won't necessarily know all the steps along that route, but we can also appreciate that each step along that journey is valuable. This year has definitely been a journey we didn't expect, but a very special one nonetheless. So let's think a little bit more in a few moments about the Jews' journey through the desert and what we can learn from that. Now, when the Torah introduces the journeys of the Jewish people, it uses two opposite phrases. It starts off by saying, Eile motza'ehem lemas'ehem. Motza'ehem from the root latzet, to go out. Masa'ehem from the word masa, meaning a journey or a tour going somewhere. So again, it starts by talking about going out from somewhere. Motza'ehem lemas'ehem. They go out and then they're on a journey. And then at the end of that verse, it flips it around and it says, Eile mas'ehem lemotza'ehem. These are the journeys almost for the sake of going out. And Rav Hirsch points out a very, very interesting insight, which is that sometimes when we are on our way in life, we're on our way going away from something. We're running away from where we came from or from something before us, which sometimes is positive. We're moving away from something that was negative. We're moving away from something that we don't want to be near. We're on a journey because we're getting away. In the Jews' case, they were getting away from Egypt. They were getting away from slavery. They were getting away from that mentality, and they were moving forwards from there. That's mas'ehem lemotza'ehem. The journey was for the sake, really, of going out, of getting away from what came before. But there's also motza'ehem lemas'ehem. Sometimes you leave somewhere not because it's a terrible place, not because there's anything wrong with it, but because you realize that there's somewhere else to go. There's a journey to go on. There's a path that can lead us to something better. And I think that we really, really have to be conscious of both these things, particularly at this juncture. We're now very much, hopefully, on a journey away from a difficult few months. But while we are certainly moving away from that, mas'ehem lemotza'ehem, for the sake of leaving it behind, moving to be able to put these difficult times behind us, to be able to put the challenges of COVID behind us, to be able to move forward safely, to be able to make sure that we're instituting things which are going to ensure that there won't be a second spike or anything like that. And we are definitely trying to make sure that the journey is in order to leave behind the difficult times. We also have to make sure that the journey we continue on now, the path that we set for ourselves, is not just running away, but is also about being conscious of where we're going, about being conscious of somewhere where we want to head to. What is the direction that we are choosing to go in? And I think that there are a number of things that we can consider on that front. Lockdown taught us many things. Now, the truth is that the answers are going to be different for every individual. For every person, things will have been different during lockdown. You'll have experienced it differently. But I think that the key is not just to move away from it, but to move away from it, learning the lessons and taking something forward. So for some people that might be the value of community, realizing how much they missed being part of a broader community, seeing friends, seeing people, not just seeing people, but really engaging with people and building those personal connections. And again, the point is that as we move forward, to ensure that that will be a central part of our life, perhaps even more than it was before. For some it was perhaps family, which I'm sure we all valued. But again, it was a great reminder for some people. For others, maybe they had time off work and they thought about what is it that I would do with this time? What is it that I would really want to do if my job wasn't available, if I just simply had to stay at home for a couple of months? What is it that I would choose to do with that time? And that strong question is one that still can be there for us to answer. Even if we've gone back to work at this point, can still be there for us to think about what is the direction that we hope to take our life in. Whatever it is that lockdown taught us, whatever the message was, I think that it's crucial as we take this next step along the path in life, that we don't just simply leave everything behind, but we carry those lessons with us, that we actually implement them into our lives, that we have a journey that's not just mas'eihem lemotzaihem, journeying forward in order to leave behind what we've been through, but actually motzaihem lemas'eihem, going out from this time on a path that we know will be a better path, on a path that we ensure that the future will be brighter than the past has been. For me, undoubtedly, the place I've missed the most has been the Bet HaMidrash, the study hall, the place where we can sit together and study together and grow together. And as we leave lockdown, I take with me that strong reminder, that feeling of longing, that feeling that I want to be able to grow with other people, to be able to connect with other people, not just in the sense of having a chat, which is lovely, but also to be able to connect on an intellectual level and a spiritual level, to be able to grow together, to be able to understand this world together, to be able to examine ourselves and to come to a greater and deeper and more meaningful appreciation of humanity and what it is we are here to do. If you'd like to join me, then feel free. Shabbat Shalom.